SeaWorld Orlando is by far one of the most beautiful theme parks I've ever visited, and certainly the best marine life park I've been to so far. Not only do they have top-notch animal exhibits and stunningly beautiful scenery, but their selection of coasters is just as incredible. They might not have as many as the Six Flags park, but this park without a doubt values quality over quantity. Here are my top 5 roller coasters at SeaWorld Orlando. Starting off at the number 5 spot is Shamu Express, and much like Catwoman's Whip at Six Flags New England, this Zero family coaster is a great ride for all ages. It may be a family coaster, but if you ride it in the back row, you can actually get a decently forceful little ride. Of course, it's nowhere near as intense as a major steel coaster, but for a family ride, it isn't bad at all. It's got a breezy layout, a great pace, and you can even pull some decent G's on that turn after the first drop. If you want to introduce your kids to how awesome roller coasters are, this is a fine choice for their first ride. Number 4 is Journey to Atlantis, SeaWorld Orlando's first ever roller coaster. This Mack Rides water coaster may not be the most intense ride out there, but what it lacks in a forceful layout, it more than makes up for in a fun and extremely memorable experience. The dark ride elements of this ride are perfectly executed, with some of the most beautiful indoor scenery you can find on a water ride. You've got these gorgeous glow-in-the-dark reefs, some Greco-Roman style architecture, and a rather terrifying bust of a siren to scare the kids before the first lift hill. Plus, you've got an amazing first drop that sends you plummeting into the water. Although you probably won't get as wet on this ride as something like Splash Mountain or Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, the aesthetics and thrilling drops make this ride fun for the whole family to enjoy. Coming in at number 3 is Manta, the park's B&M flying coaster. If I had to choose between this and Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Great Adventure, I'd without a doubt pick this one. Unlike Superman, Manta's layout is more spread out, which really adds to the flying coaster experience. You feel more free on this ride. Instead of just flying around the track and over a patch of grass, you're going through trees, over water, and all the while you're getting some awesome views of the park. Its pretzel loop is also one of the most intense inversions I've ever experienced. With that being said, the front and back rows have their positives and negatives. On one hand, the front row will give you a better view, but the ride won't be as intense. On the other hand, the back row will make the ride more intense, but you won't have that great of a view, and the pretzel loop's G-forces are so intense that it's almost painful. I personally started coughing at that point. Overall, though, I had a great time riding Manta, and I would say it's a must-ride for all flying coaster fans. Next up is Mako at number 2, the park's newest roller coaster, and once again, you can never go wrong with a B&M Hyper. This is an incredible ride. While it may not be as forceful as something like Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure, it's still a silky smooth, graceful, and beyond entertaining attraction that really packs a punch. If there's one thing I love about B&M Hypers, it's the floater airtime, and this ride has perhaps the most floater airtime I've ever experienced in a single ride. Plus, it gives you a breathtaking view of the lake, and even when you're not on the ride, watching it zoom over the water and past the gift shop is the definition of eye candy. It may not be the most intense ride in the world, but the experience alone makes this a phenomenal addition to the park. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Kraken, the park's B&M floorless coaster. I can say with 100% certainty that this is the best floorless coaster I have ever ridden. Not only is it astoundingly smooth, but the inversions are just gargantuan. This ride really sends you twisting and turning all over the place. It's got everything from corkscrews to a dive loop, and they are all executed perfectly. There's no headbanging to kill the experience, and the inversions are evenly distributed throughout the track, making the layout constantly exciting. Not only that, but much like Bizarro at Six Flags Great Adventure, this ride is perfectly paced, giving a ride that never seems to end while you're on it. If you're sitting in the back row, you just go flying through this layout, and you won't even be able to process it when you hit the brake run. On another note, this ride has one of the most beautiful entrances I've ever seen. It's got all these amazing vibrant colors and sculptures, and it really goes all out to get your attention. I mean, who wouldn't want to ride this after seeing an entrance like this? This coaster was certainly awesome enough to break my top 10, and I just can't get enough of it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Feel free to subscribe and follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You could find links in the description. This is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you all next time.